Hello everyone. I'm going to discuss my little Eurorack setup that I've been messing around with for the last few months. So first I would like to discuss the case. I upgraded to a NiftyCase. When I first started messing with Eurorack, I had a little wooden Doepfer case, but the modules were just drawing way too much power. It was causing a lot of hum. So I needed something with a more substantial power supply. And so I chose the NiftyCase because it had a lot of features incorporated into it, such as the outputs and MIDI, which was really a nice, set of features to include. Now I'm going to go through my modules. So on the end here, this is a Befaco output module. Back when I was using the Doepfer case, I needed something to route the Eurorack to my keyboard amp, so I opted for this. I may sell it now that I have the built-in outputs on the case, but it's nice in case I want to run more than one sort of out from the case, so I might hold on to it. It's still up in the air. Moving on to the next unit, the white and gold module is a Cre8audio Chipz. It has two oscillators and an LFO section. The oscillators are not super pristine. They kind of have this little bit like fizzy, grimy, almost chiptune quality. They're not quite chiptune, but they're not super sort of high defined either. It's pretty noisy, but it's fun and it's a pretty useful starting point. Moving along, I have a Doepfer Wasp filter based off of the synth from the late 70s filter section. This thing is pretty rad. Does a lot of really nice kind of filtering, helps clean up the chips quite a bit. So she kind of takes off a lot of that fizzy, kind of grainy high end, which can be a bit much. I actually have a Behringer clone of the Wasp synth as like a module, so I need to at some point do a side by side on the filters and kind of compare them. But overall, this thing has been probably the best unit in the modular setup so far. Moving along, I have a Doepfer Basic VCO. It's a little bit nicer sounding than the Chipz. It doesn't do a whole lot, but it has all the kind of basics. You can modify pulse width, you can tune it. It's good just for getting a signal out there. Moving along, this is a Behringer LFO, sample and hold, ring mod, and noise gen unit. I just wanted something that can just do a lot in a small form factor, so I opted for this. It's pretty wild. Sometimes with the LFO, if you move it to full blast rather than 1/10, can really overwhelm the mix. Moving along, here is the Cre8audio Cellz. It is a little touch plate interface. You can tap the cells and it will trigger a pitch assigned to the individual cell. You can also run it in a sequence by having some sort of external sequencing trigger initiate either a downwards left or downwards right pattern among the little honeycomb cells. For the down left, I'm currently using the clock out feature on the Behringer unit. And for the down right, I have a square wave LFO from the Chipz, producing this kind of semi-chaotic, random pattern on the chips, on the cells, should I say. If you have multiple oscillators at your disposal, you can also run 2 outputs via the CV and tune each of them to an individual pitch. So it's sort of like having a duophonic synthesizer at your disposal. I didn't really know what I was doing when I got into Eurorack. I still really don't. And it's been just kind of a chaotic process of, you know, stumbling and trying to figure out what to do. Because when I've messed with synths in the past, I've bought, you know, kind of complete units. Well, this, you're building it up piece by piece, and so there's no kind of structure or guide, really, that's, you know, all-encompassing on how to build your own synth from the ground up. You can, you know, read up, oh, you need a VCO to produce the pitch, or a filter to filter it, or an LFO to add, you know, a little bit of modulation and movement to your sound, but you're always just stumbling across something you didn't know, or some weird mistake that you made in your choices. So it can be a bit chaotic, but it's been a really good learning experience and helped me understand synthesizers a bit more. Thank you.